chair now recognizes the gentlelady from Iowa, Ms. Miller-Meeks.
Thank you very much to the chair and ranking member for holding this extremely important hearing on AI, energy, and global competitiveness. Iowa's 1st District has become an important contributor to our nation's AI infrastructure. In February, Cedar Rapids announced its largest economic development investment in the city's history, a $750 million partnership between the city, Alliant Energy, and QTS to build a major data center campus. The project will bring hundreds of construction jobs and high-tech positions while featuring innovative water-free cooling systems that address resource concerns. It's also home to Azure's largest supercomputers, which Microsoft built for OpenAI to train breakthrough AI models. This cutting-edge infrastructure in our state's heartland demonstrates how communities beyond traditional tech hubs can play vital roles in advancing AI innovation. As we examine these technologies, I'm particularly interested in how we ensure reliable power generation for these high-demand facilities. Iowa's diverse energy portfolio positions us well, but we need significant additional generation capacity nationwide to meet growing electricity demands for AI, domestic manufacturing, and residential demand. I'm eager to explore how we maintain America's energy competitive edge, and especially against China's targeted effort to become the global AI leader by 2030. The decisions that we make today about regulation and infrastructure will determine whether the United States maintains its leadership position and how critical this is, as has been mentioned earlier. Mr. Wang, I was impressed by MIT's AI innovation when I visited there a few years ago, but concerned to learn about the CCP's whole-of-government approach to accelerating Chinese AI capabilities. With the recent emergence of models like DeepSeek, how would you characterize our current competitive position against China, specifically in the areas of data, and I think you've answered this partly, computing, algorithms, and workforce development?
It's an important question, and I always, AI really does boil down to its ingredients, and these ingredients are the ones that you referenced: computational power, data, algorithms, and ultimately the workforce that we have to support it. When it comes to computational power, we are still ahead as a country, but we have to be very diligent to ensure that we stay ahead. We're lucky that the leading chips in the world are NVIDIA chips, some of the chips from Micron and others, which are the forefront of the industry and the envy of the world. But we need to maintain those leads, and we need to think deeply about how we do that. When it comes to the algorithms, I would actually say we're probably on par at this point with China. We used to have a meaningful lead. Most of the most innovative algorithms are American innovations, but they've been very quickly replicated, and at this point, it's not clear that we have a lead. When it comes to data, this is where China has an immeasurable lead. They've invested in it for years, nearly a decade of investment into data sets to fuel their AI development. This started with their global surveillance programs, and when they instituted large-scale AI for facial recognition and other technologies throughout the country, and has continued to today. We need to figure out as a country how we achieve data dominance and how we can do that both in the public sector as well as across the private sector. And then lastly, on the workforce, this is an important point. We, as a country, again, the workforce is what fuels every component of these sets of innovations. So we need to ensure that we as a country are setting up the right programs to empower the AI workforce of tomorrow. Thank you.
Mr. Body, in your testimony, you stated that the U.S. is not on track to keep pace with projected energy demand, and that unless the U.S. makes substantial policy shifts, access to affordable and reliable power will begin constraining Americans' manufacturing renaissance. During our hearing with the nation's grid operators last month, they expressed similar concerns. Your testimony specifically highlighted the Broadman to Hemingway transmission line project that's faced nearly 20 years of permitting delays. Can you elaborate on how these permitting challenges directly impact Micron's expansion plans and competitiveness compared to China's ability to rapidly deploy energy infrastructure?
Thank you, Congresswoman. The Boardman to Hemingway line is just an example. It's a project that is, I think, 300 miles long and has been on the drawing board for almost 20 years now. And we were joking earlier that it's approaching its 21st birthday almost in terms of when it was proposed until today, and still hundreds of millions of dollars spent on permitting. It's a project that does span 3 different states to be able to connect transmission in the Pacific Northwest. And because of those kinds of regulations between the different states as well as federal oversight issues and regulations, we've not been able to see it even get started. And that's just one example of, I'm sure, many, many other examples of projects which really are needed to be able to bring the grid resiliency that others on the panel have talked about and that I've called for as well.
Thank you. I have a question for Dr. Schmidt on fusion, but I'm out of time, so I will submit it for the record if you could please answer. But I hadn't heard fusion mentioned, so wanted to get that in. Thank you. I yield back.